Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing the first video from the series where I'm going to be showing you how to start up a YouTube channel and how to maintain it. So it's kind of like how to be a YouTuber, I guess. And I just wanted to share with you some of the do's and don'ts and stuff that I have learned over the past 3 years that I've been on YouTube. It will be 4 years in January, this coming up January. So I am by no means like an extremely successful YouTuber at all. I still have a long way to go, but I am very pleased and very blessed with what I have so far. And I feel like I have learned quite a few things over the years. And whenever people ask me like for advice on their channel, I always just feel overwhelmed with stuff that I want to share. So I figured it would be cool to do a little video series for those of you who are interested in this so I could help everyone out. And that way I can just kind of answer everyone at once instead of replying to all the emails and stuff. So, but if you have personal things that you want to ask me about, definitely let me know in an email. If there's like something specific that you need help with, then definitely let me know something I don't cover. But I'm going to be breaking these down into different videos so they're not going to be too long. The first one today is just going to be kind of going over the basics, how to start up your channel, kind of all of the ins and outs of the actual YouTube site and how to use it and your camera and lighting. I get tons of questions about that all the time, so I figured I would just cover all that in this video. And then in my other videos, I'm going to get in more of the details on how to engage your audience, how to grow your audience, YouTube sponsorships, how to make money on YouTube, networking and jobs and all that kind of stuff. So I will be covering that stuff in different videos. I'm probably going to end up with like probably 5 videos in this series. So let's just go ahead and get started with the first set of information. So first of all, when you create a YouTube channel, you want to decide kind of what you want your image to be. So when I first started YouTube, you had to actually have a username. So I had to come up with a username. Now you just put your first and last name, but I had to come up with like what I wanted it to be, so what I wanted my whole image to be. And I first started out with my blog, which is getglammedup.com. Before then it was like glam-me-up.blogspot or something, before I actually had the domain registered. But I was blogging for a little while, which I think blogging is an excellent way to start out if you're not totally up for just jumping into the YouTube thing. I think it's really cool to just start out that way because you don't have to be in front of the camera and you can kind of grow a little bit of audience there. That's what I started doing. I did that from 2009 to 2011. So I did that for like 2 years just to really get used to everything and really establish what I wanted to do. And so then I wanted to make videos to kind of go along with some of the blog posts because you couldn't really show how to do tutorials and stuff in a blog post with just pictures. It was a little bit hard. And I kind of wanted to do something along the lines of where someone can come and get glammed up, and that's what my website is called. So where somebody can get everything they want to know, from hair to makeup to fashion, nails, just cover everything to where they can really feel beautiful and make them feel better about themselves. So that I wanted it to be like a place. So that's when I created my blog, and then my YouTube channel went along with that, so Glam Me Up. That's where I went with the name and everything. And then I decided what kind of videos I wanted to do. So I started out doing product reviews and makeup tutorials and I think outfit of the days and stuff. So you really just need to look at what you like doing, and if you truly have a passion for it, then it will take off from there. It really shows that people aren't into it. If you don't really devote the time and the energy into it, then you're not going to really see the results. You have to really be passionate about it, and you have to really want it too, because it is kind of a struggle. It does take a long time to get going. If you just grow this huge audience overnight, then that is awesome. But for a lot of people, it does take time and it takes a lot of patience. But if you do not give up, then the success will come. You just have to really work at it and you have to really want it, just like anything else in life. So once you kind of have your image of what you want to be, or you could just brand it as your own name. It could be anything. So like I said, now with YouTube, you have to put in your own name. I personally don't share my last name on YouTube. I want to protect my privacy. I just use the first letter of my middle name. So the way YouTube used to be, you had to like apply for partner, and I don't think it's the same way now. I'm not sure because my channel was created a long time ago, but I believe everyone now can have like a channel banner and all that kind of stuff. So you want to make your YouTube channel look good as well as your blog too. So I would recommend creating some type of banner. I know that there are sites now that you can use to kind of generate one if you're not really good with artsy stuff online. I also design banners and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, I do have a design website. It's called Glammed Up Design. So you can always reach out to me if you need help with anything as far as designing, or if you want me to make one for you. But I would definitely recommend making it look good. That's really going to draw people in, and if they see something that looks official, they'll believe it's official. So you really have to portray it as professional, and this is a YouTube channel. It's not just something that's thrown together, so really making it look good is important and making it look professional. So if everything kind of corresponds with your image or your brand that you want on YouTube. That's really going to get people to remember who you are. So you want to use the same design across all platforms, all social media. If you'll notice on my channel banner, I have the pink and white design. It's kind of like a Victorian look, and it's very glam too on my blog. So everything kind of goes along with that. It's very bright, and it just, everything goes together. So that really helps as well. You also want to have a really good picture, something that's clear and easy to see. I cannot tell you how many times that I have seen people's channel picture be like a mirror picture or just something where you can barely even see them, or it's literally, it doesn't even take up the whole square, so it's too small, and then you only see like this little tiny picture and you can't even tell what it is. So you really want your picture to be something that grabs people's attention and will make them want to click on it. So it's really nice to have something where it's only from like the face up, because you don't have a lot of space, so I wouldn't do something that shows a whole lot. Just something from here up that just shows your face, shows your hair, whatever you want to portray, your bright makeup, anything like that. Just something that's going to get people to recognize who you are and click on it too, so it's not just like a blurry image. So once you have your channel designed and organized, you want to make sure that obviously your video quality is good. If you don't have a really expensive camera, don't worry. I started out with just using a digital camera. Digital cameras, most people already have them, or they're not that expensive to get. I'm pretty sure you can get a digital camera for like $100 to $200, and a lot of them film in HD now, which is really cool. So I just started out using a digital camera. I literally put a mirror behind it, that way I could see if I was in frame and stuff, because it didn't have like a flip out screen like I have now. But just starting with the basics is great until you really get into it and you really like know that you want to do it before you invest a lot of money in it and stuff. So I also just like propped up my camera with stuff instead of using a tripod, but you can get a tripod for pretty cheap too. It doesn't even have to be anything super expensive. But just make it work, but as long as it looks good in the ending. And then lighting, natural light is always what I suggest for people who don't have lighting kits. Just sit in front of a bright window and it's the best natural light. If your video quality looks bad, people are just not going to sit through the whole video. So you want to make sure your room is clean behind you, the room is lit in the back, and it's in focus and everything looks good. Because if it's just makeshift looking, or you can tell you just filmed it on your phone, no editing, then people aren't going to sit through it. So when I first started out, I wasn't the best at projecting my voice, or I just kind of sounded monotone, which I'm still working on that. I still have a long way to go, of course. You want to sound lively and upbeat, I guess, and you don't want to be mumbling or anything, so people can hear you. And as long as your audio quality is good and your visual quality is good, people will watch the video. So you also want to try to keep your videos short. This is a problem that I have, and this video probably won't end up being short. It's a constant struggle, but it is good to try to keep them under, I'd say, at least 10 minutes. 15 if you have to, but really nobody wants to sit through a 15-minute video unless it's something like a long tutorial where you have to. But majority of people like 5-minute videos or less, because let's face it, no one can pay attention for very long. They just want to get what they want to get and get out of the video. So that's something I'm definitely still working on and I could definitely improve on. It's also extremely important to edit your videos, because you don't want to leave any long pauses in between things. If I didn't edit my videos, they would be so long and there would be so much in between where I'm just like, or I'm thinking. So avoid saying to cut out anything that's not necessary and just cut your clips together. It's super easy to cut clips together. When I first started out, I was on a PC, so I was using Windows Live Movie Maker. It's what came on the PC. It's not really that great, but it'll work for the beginning, so just to get used to it, and it's super easy to use. You can always look up tutorials on how to edit on YouTube, so you can pretty much find out how to do anything online. So that's what I did. I was pretty much self-taught. I just played with it forever, and then I started adding like more creative things. But just for starting out, as long as you can cut the clips out and cut out the unnecessary stuff and compile it into one, then that'll be fine. Then the creative stuff can come later. So once you edit and make your video look good, then you're going to upload it. There's different ways you can upload. You can either schedule it, which I really recommend, because then you can be consistent. Consistency is super important, especially when you're first starting out. You want people to remember when you post videos. You want to establish like a schedule. So I post on Wednesday and Saturday, so that really helps, and that works with me, and that helps you guys know when to look out for my new videos. So that definitely helps. So I don't recommend posting too much, and I also don't recommend posting too little. You want to be consistent. If you go a month and don't post a video, people are going to forget about you online. They have tons of other people that they're watching. So you want to make sure that you're uploading frequently enough that people know you're serious about it and you're sticking to it, and being consistent is extremely important, and that's with anything on YouTube. So I like to schedule my videos, that way I can edit and upload them when I have time, and then I can set them to go live whenever I want. So then when you upload your videos, you want to make sure that you fill out the title, the description, and the tags. YouTube is really neat to where you can actually make upload default, so you don't have to fill that stuff out every time. I don't. I have a set copy of stuff that goes in every description box, and I also have set tags that are in every video, and those come up automatically, so that's really cool. If you want to know how to set upload defaults, just Google it. I'm sure you'll find directions, but it's super easy. So I always list things like my last video. I list all my social media sites. I also have a subscription link to where you can subscribe, and like music information in my description box. So it's important to have those things, especially the music, so you don't get marked for copyright. And that's another big thing. Make sure you're using royalty-free music. YouTube has a great audio library too, so make sure you make use of that because those are free and easy to use and you won't get your video flagged. But just having a description, it's also nice to put a little blurb about what your video is about. That really helps pull it up in search. And tags are extremely important. If you're not tagging your video, you definitely should be, because that's going to drive a lot of traffic. You want to make sure you fill out it completely. Just think of tons of words people would search to find your video. So if you're doing a makeup tutorial, you would have makeup tutorial, you would have makeup, and then I also list like all of the brands that I use. If there's any special product that I think people might be searching for that I use, I will definitely list that. But you want to be accurate. You don't want to put crazy tags or titles that have nothing to do with your video, because then people are just going to get annoyed when they click on it and realize it's not what they wanted to. So make sure that everything is very accurate, as well as your title is very descriptive. It's pretty short too, and it's just to the point of what you're talking about. And then thumbnail is also extremely important, because if you don't have a good thumbnail, people aren't going to click on your video. It's really what draws them in, especially if they're searching for something. You don't want your thumbnail to just kind of blend in with everyone else's. You want it to stand out and really show clearly of what your video is going to be about. Don't just use the default like screen grab that YouTube generates. Those are awful, and they don't describe what the video is going to be about at all. So it's really nice to take your own picture and make a thumbnail. I always use picmonkey.com. It's really easy to use. You can create like different layouts and stuff and compile all your images into a collage. There's all types of editing things you can do, adding pictures and text. So I will link that for you guys down below if you're interested in that, but it's great for making thumbnails. And if you need help on how to use it, then definitely leave me a comment down below or send me an email. There's tons of different ways to have your channel be found, so I will go into more detail on that on another video, but this is just, I guess, like the basics of starting up your channel. I know it is hard too to get used to filming and stuff, but practice definitely makes perfect. I still, like I said, have a long ways to go, but it's really just about practicing and filming a lot to get comfortable in front of the camera. It's always weird at first and you feel like someone's listening, but just know that it does take time to get used to it and you will get better at it, so just keep trying. So this video is already getting too long, and like I said, you don't want to make your videos too long. So I am going to have a list of all the tips and stuff I mentioned on my blog, which is going to be helpful too, because then you can kind of refer back to them when you're starting up your channel, or just as a checklist to make sure you're already doing these things. So all that's going to be over on my blog, and that link will be the first one in the description box below the video. Please leave me any video requests you have in the comments down below on this topic. If there's anything specific you want to know how to do, or if you need help with, definitely let me know and I will be sure to include it in the next video for the series. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to follow me on my social media sites, they're all linked down below, like I said, if you want to keep up with me day to day. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone. So I'm going to be going over some of the do's and don'ts on wearing darker lipstick. I'm also going to be doing a makeup tutorial around the dark lips, so the type of eyeshadow you should wear, blush,